and the 5A history that Wasatch has had, and include 4A history as well, this is as good a 2-year stretch that Wasatch has had.
It's pretty amazing when you put it that way, Tyler. In the 19-9 record in region play, a different way to look at it, Wasatch has faced the number 1 and number 2 team in the state 11 times out of those 28 matchups. And so it's not like they're facing off against slouches there. They're really playing high-level competition, and it's something to be admired here. This team has been rolling for the last 2 years. The senior class, it deserves a lot of the credit for the success that this team has been able to experience.
That was your Gordon Law Group, your full-service local law firm practicing in all areas of the law. They take pride in saying, yeah, we do that. It's time for the national anthem. We'll be back with your Mountain Refined opening pitch after this.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best of State for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasp football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Live from Spanish Fork High School, this is the last game of the regular season for the Wasatch Wasps baseball team. They come in with a 13-11 record, 10-4 in region play, and they will wrap up region play on the regular season today against Spanish Fork, who comes into this series ranked number 1 in the entire state. We'll have your Mountain Refined first pitch and your Bank of Utah starting lineup right after this.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process, and it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S. Wasatch High School Sports is on the radio.
Welcome back to Wasatch baseball action here at Spanish Fork High School. It's time for your Bank of Utah batting lineup for the Wasps. Batting first and playing center field is Crew Erickson. Batting second and playing third base, Chet Wilson. Batting third and playing left field is Peyton Swap. The DH today will be Jackson Bolender. Batting fifth and on the mound is Cole Zimmerman. Batting sixth and playing second base is Jack Bluth. Batting seventh and behind the dish will be Kelson Stocking. Carter Bucad will be at short. And then at first base today and batting ninth is the senior Jackson, Sorensen. Ty, it's time for our Country Garden Nursery keys to the game. Country Garden and Nursery is your only one-stop shop for everything garden and yard related in the Heber Valley. Stop on into our indoor plant shop for your plant of the month. Your keys to the game for the Wasps today.
Well, Tyler, this is our first look at Zach Dart on the mound. He's a next-level baseball player, committed to play D1 ball last year, but then he had an arm injury. He played quarterback for Spanish Fork as well, and he hurt his arm. Didn't get a chance to really see him last year, and this is going to be our first look at him. And this Wasatch team kind of woke up the bats in the game yesterday after going a shutout for the first time this season in game 1 of this series. They got 10 hits against the number 1 team and really the number 1 pitcher in 5A with a .06 ERA last night as the Dons came up to Wasatch. So with Dart on the mound, you need to get to him early, have the ball in play, and put a lot of pressure on him.
Ball 1 to Crew Erickson, who will lead off, a .403 batting average. Had 2 hits yesterday. He's 3 for 7 in the series. Both hits were infield hits. He's going to swing at this one, fouls it hard down the third base side. Barely foul, moves the count to 1-1. Mountain Refined, from design to project completion, our team excels in understanding and implementing your specific lifestyle, taste preferences into your interior design. Come into our showroom in order to find beautiful furniture, bedding, decor, and so much more. Drag bunt attempt here from Crew as he'll miss, and that moves the count to 1-2. Yeah, I believe Dart's headed to BYU, right? As a pitcher? Is that what I heard yesterday?
Yeah, as a pitcher.
On the year, Dart. Pull up his stats, the 1-2 pitch. High up, catcher tried to bring it down, not well enough, moves the count to 2-2. Dart on the year, 8 1/3 innings pitched, 2.52 ERA, 5 hits in those 8 innings and 11 Ks. So hasn't thrown a lot, Tyler, probably still in some rehab starts here. Swung on here, the 2-2 to right center field, too high. Center fielder Creer is going to come underneath it and make the grab, and Wasatch has one away here in the top of the first. Going to bring up Chet Wilson, .343 batting average, 10 extra base hits and 17 RBIs on the year. Hitless in this series. Hitting on the left-hand side, Wasatch wearing their all-gray uniforms today. Fastball, outside corner, strike 1.
Yeah, Ty Chet's one of the elite hitters for Wasatch, but I think it's safe to say he's in a little bit of a slump here recently.
That one too far outside, moves the count to 1-1.
And to me, that's not a bad thing because you don't keep Chet in a slump for very long. And so if he can get out of this here rolling into the state tournament, he could have a huge state tournament, which can go a long way for Chet because I know he's got aspirations to play at the next level too, Tyler, and that's where a lot of colleges start paying attention is during those state tournament games.
Dart gets the outside corner to move the count to 1-2. Curveball in the dirt, swung on, missed. Catcher's going to step out and throw it down to first base, and Chet is retired on the swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down here in the top of the first. Going to bring up Peyton Swap.
Good to see Peyton back in the lineup here, Tyler. Was curious if he'd make it back in after being pulled yesterday with looks like his back tweaked a little bit more.
Yeah, and is in the field playing today. He'll play in left field. Crew will stay in center field today for the Wasps. First pitch swung on, was right on that fastball, fouls it back. 1 strike on Swap.
You know, Peyton's never had the cleanest mechanics on his backside, Tyler. He's always been able to rely on upper body strength. But it looks like his swing, he's just not as confident in that back right now. He just looks a little bit more stiff than normal, and he's not engaging his lower half. And that's these lower back injuries can just nag at you a little bit. Hopefully he can feel confident by the time the state tournament rolls around next Saturday.
He'll swing at a 1-1 up in the zone, misses, and that moves the count to 1-2 with 2 outs. Jackson Bolender on deck. For the Wasps, Jackson will DH today after throwing 7 innings yesterday of no earned run baseball. Gave up 2 unearned runs. Misses low and outside, brings the count to deuces with 2 outs. Cole Zimmerman getting the start on the mound, but we'll see Casey Anderson, I believe, as well, Tyler, today on the mound. 2-2, swung on, fouled off. It was off-speed pitch.
It's a pretty good curveball, and these guys are starting to see it for the first time, Ty, but that one was left up in the zone by Dart. That one kind of floated over the middle part of the plate. And I'd expect if Peyton got that same location again, he would be able to do some damage with that pitch.
2-2, outside fastball, swung on and missed. 2 Ks in the inning for Dart as Wasatch goes down 1-2-3. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. It'll be Cole Zimmerman on the mound for the Wasps when we come back in the bottom of the first.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Flooring and Paints.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
You're listening to Wasatch High School baseball with Tyler Moss and Tyler Baird. We're at Spanish Fork High School heading into the bottom of the first inning, brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine, your rehabilitation specialist dedicated to your total recovery from sports injuries, auto injuries, industrial and or commercial injuries. Let Dan Ivey and his team get you back to 100%.
A little bit of change of batting order for the Dons today as they're going to lead off with Duvall. It's been Will Dart. Instead, they're going to go with Duvall, but he's had a great series tie. 4 for 7. Had an RBI yesterday on a double. Also scored in the series as well. He was really on the barrel all day against Jackson Bolender. Finally was able to break through with a double in his last at-bat that tied the ball game. Cole Zimmerman on the mound for the Wasps. Cole on the year. The junior, 15 innings pitched, a 6.53 ERA, 16 hits. The story has been the command, 20 walks on the year for Cole, and he's going to start 0-2 here to the leadoff batter, Duvall.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see, Tyler, if the walks are a concern. If Cole gives a couple freebies here, how soon do you go to Casey Anderson? Casey should be fresh. He's got a full 110 pitches he can go for you. Threw 18 pitches, I believe, on Wednesday. And all you need is 1 day rest, and then he can come back at full strength.
Well, 4 straight balls to the leadoff guy as Cole Zimmerman will put Duvall on first base. Duvall's been good on the base pass as well for the Dons. He had a stolen base yesterday in game 2. That's going to bring up Dart. Dart, a sophomore. 2 for 6 in the series with a walk and a strikeout. 2 strikeouts yesterday. .382 batting average on the year. Spanish Fork traditionally likes to play the small ball. We'll see if they do so here with Dart.
I think, if anything, you're taking here, right? If you're Spanish Fork, 4 straight balls.
And it'll make it 5 straight balls as he goes high and inside. Romero on deck, the catcher for Spanish Fork. Dart playing shortstop today. Duvall, the second baseman, is on first base. Wasatch went 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Now the leadoff guy on. Cole delivers. Another high one, moves the count to 2-0. 6 straight balls. That'll bring an early Mirror Lake Station trip to the mound from Kelson Stocking.
Yeah, this is a good visit here from Kelson, and maybe he saw what I just saw there. Cole, when you're struggling to locate, one of the just simple things here that you say as a pitching coach is keep your eyes on the target where you're going. And I know that sounds simple, but on that one, Cole with the base runner, he started his motion home and then glanced at the runner as his momentum was carrying himself home, and then he had to look up and locate where the catcher was there. And you just don't have much of a chance to throw a strike if you're doing that. And so just simple things. At this point, you do want to hold the runner. But the first priority, you got to throw strikes.
Does come with the strike there. Dart a little bit ahead of it. Will foul it off. Moves the count to 2-1. First strike of the ball game here for Cole Zimmerman.
A little surprised he swung at that, Tyler. 6 straight balls. And the first strike he sees, he's fouling off. But that's the attitude here of the sophomore Will Dart. So he's not getting in that box looking for a walk. He wants to be aggressive.
Runner goes, a high lay kick. Ball 3 is called at the plate, and Duvall goes in uncontested. 3-1 the count, and a stolen base there for Duvall, and Spanish Fork has a duck on the pond here in the first inning.
Well, that one's borderline, Tyler. That was right towards the top of the zone, but when you've missed 6 out of 7 pitches, the umpire is not going to give you the benefit of the doubt early on in this one.
Ball 4, as that puts runners on first and second. Back-to-back walks here from Cole Zimmerman. He's going to bring up the catcher, Cole Romero. Plus 400 batting average, hits from the left-hand side. He's 1 for 6 in this series, doubled in game 1, but did not get a hit yesterday against Bolender. Also has 2 Ks.
Yeah, Easton Romero, a physically imposing player here for Spanish Fork, Tyler. We've talked about it a couple times. He's committed to play ball at BYU. He's primarily a catcher. See if that's where the Y keeps him. BYU right now being manned by the former catching coach, Trent Pratt. But with Coach Littlewood stepping aside earlier this year, he's now the head guy. And I'd have to imagine that Romero would probably like that because as a catcher, I'm sure he committed in large part thinking he's going to be working with Coach Pratt. And now he's the head man. Sometimes you wonder when coaches step down if kids will decommit and go somewhere else, but hasn't happened yet with Romero.
Another ball here to start off the at-bat against Romero. This trip to the mound brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Best donuts in Utah. The Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station up in Camas. Donut of the month, a key lime pie donut. Order in advance, though they do not last long, so the key there is order in advance and then run up there, and they'll just hold them for you, and you can pick up your donuts. Wasatch 0, Spanish Fork 0, but Wasatch has led off the bottom of the first with back-to-back walks. So the Dons have Duvall at second, Dart at first with Romero up. Romero on the year is the leading RBI guy for Spanish Fork with 13 RBIs. Hasn't really gotten the best of Wasatch pitching staff yet in this series. Did have a double in game 1 of the series, but was hitless yesterday. Cole comes set after the trip to the mound from Watkins. 1-0, now 2-0. After misses low and outside.
Well, the issues when Wasatch has had a hard time winning games, Tyler, it started on the pitcher's mound with free passes through walks, hit by pitches, even errors I think you can include in that.
Runners go, double steal, and it's going to be in there easily safe. Was that another ball, or did they call that a strike? That looked decent.
I think there was another ball, Ty. I think we're at 3-0 now.
3-0 with runners now on second and third after the double steal, and again, Kelson doesn't even have a chance to make a throw on it.
Well, and that's unacceptable. When you've got nobody out, you're not going to steal third unless you absolutely have third base, especially when the pitcher's walking as he walks Romero again here. And so what Spanish is seeing is that Cole is just mentally in a different place right now, and that they're taking bags. He's not looking at the runners as long as he needs to, and they're taking advantage. It looks like we're going to have an early switch here, Tyler, as Coach Jacobson comes out with Casey Anderson.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, it will be Casey Anderson, the senior, on the mound for the Wasps with the bases loaded, nobody out.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strongest approval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts.
5 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Bring my mic down. Pitching change, again, brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Casey Anderson on the mound, 35 and a third innings pitched on the year, has given up 46 hits, 21 Ks, and a 4.36 ERA. He comes in a tight spot here with the bases loaded, nobody out. Goes off speed.
That's pretty tight.
Good.
Yeah, that was a pretty good pitch there.
Tight zone early on in the ball game here, as that's ball 1.
Well, I think the umpire let Dalton duck that one, Tyler. He didn't look the zone relative to where the body size actually is. Dalton kind of squatted down. That one probably should have been a strike. That one not.
That one not. That's up in the zone as well. 2-0. Wasatch faithful unhappy with the umpire early on in this ball game. Got a good story with the umpire that's out in the field that we'll share as our Wasatch history moment of the day. 2-0 count here to Dalton. Another ball, 3-0. As Wasatch having a hard time finding the zone early on in this ball game. 3 straight walks and now a 3-0 count to the number 4 hitter. Well, they've got a long ways to go for the record. 10 straight, right, was what we saw down the Skyline.
Yep, 10 straight with 2 outs.
Does come back with a strike there on the inside part of the plate. 3-1 the count. Wasatch playing double play depth up the middle. Corners are playing in front of the base runners on the grass. Casey working out of the windup. Couple of shakes, and Dalton's going to take a timeout.
The stat that you don't want is, it might be time to bring it up. Wasatch on the season has 152 innings pitched, 144 balls and hit by pitches to the other team. Make it 145.
As Wasatch walks in a run, they've yet to register an out or a ball in play, as it has been 4 straight ball walks. And that brings in the run, and Wasatch is trailing now 1-0. They did give up a run yesterday in the top of the first. But those 4 walks, Tyler, match as many walks as Wasatch has given up in this series. Jackson Kelson had 2 walks, and Jackson Bolender had 2 walks. So 4 total walks coming into today, and already 4 walks today. It's going to bring up Dart, the pitcher. He's going to swing at the first pitch. It's going to be a pop-up in foul territory to Chet Wilson. Wilson will make the grab, and Wasatch does have one away here in the bottom of the first.
That's a big out. That's a big out. Ball not leaving the infield, Tyler. Now keeps the double play in order. If you can make maybe one more good pitch here and get out of this inning with only giving up 1 run, that would be just a significant accomplishment here for Wasatch. Still a long way to go before they can get to that point, but the option's on the table. Although this umpire in the field has, you're going to get to this later as you already pointed out, but we've seen him call a triple play before, and that wouldn't be his first, I guess, is what I'm pointing out.
Bases loaded. It's going to bring up the center fielder, Creer. 2 for 6 in the series, and also had a hit by pitch in the first game. He's going to swing. It's going to be a ground ball to the left-hand side. Bucad's going to try to go 6-4-3. Throws it away from Bluth. 1 run comes in. 2 runs come in. Guy at second base will advance to third. And Spanish Fork is jumping on the Wasps early. Rare error there from the shortstop, Carter Bucad. Probably could have gone to third base to get 1 out there. That would have been a tough 6-4-3. Instead, he tried to win back to second base and just didn't get it to Bluth. And now we have runners on first and third. A 3-0 lead for the Dons.
Yeah, Tyler, you talked about it. Unusual, and you actually explained this very well in the game yesterday, that a lot of times young shortstops, when they get in a rush, tend to get themselves a little bit off balance when they go to field the ball. And I think Carter knew his personnel. Greer, a very fast player for Spanish Fork. Another hit. He's going to score another run here.
Yeah, this is going to be double down the left field line. 1 run's going to come in. They're going to try to go first to third. Ball not in time. And so we have runners on second and third with 1 out after the RBI double by Bringhurst down the left field line.
Well, I better finish my thought quickly before we have another ball in play here, Ty. But it just looked like Carter rushed it in that he saw his runner was up with some speed, really wanted to get the double play, as I had talked about, rushed the throw, and it wasn't really near Bluth.
It's going to bring up Cloward. He got the Game 1 start on the mound and got the victory. Also had both RBIs in that 2-0 victory in Game 1. Right now, Ty, don't you kind of get the feel that Wasatch woke a little bit of a sleeping giant yesterday with the 3-2 win? Spanish Fork not used to losing this season, only 4 losses on the year, and one of those coming to Wasatch yesterday.
Yeah, and you very well could be right, Tyler, but I'm not sure how much they've done that, or they're just self-inflicted wounds here. Sure. You know, when you walk the first 4 guys, I don't know if you can expect much better than giving up at least 4 runs in the first inning.
Wasatch is going to cut the ball off. Carter Bucad does a good job, knocks it down. He's going to get the runner at first base. Good play there from Bucad, so he comes back after making the error and makes a good play there on a hard-hit ground ball from Cloward. So now 2 outs with still runners on second and third. For the number 9 hitter, that is 15 Asay, playing left field today for the Wasps, or for the Dons. AC, I think, is how the announcer just said it. .293 batting average on the year. He's 1 for 5 in this series with a strikeout. Swings at a first pitch curveball. That'll go foul down the third base side. Yeah, I talked about that moment in Wasatch history, Ty. It was my first year coaching. We were down at Springville, and we weren't used to nice swing and a miss there, fastball from Casey, so 0-2 count. And we had runners on second and third, nobody out, and there was a ball that was elevated to left field. I had the runner on third base tagging, and the runner on second base was also tagging because it was a deep ball. Casey's going to deliver the 0-2, too far up, 1-2. The left fielder made the catch, our runner scored, and our guy at second advanced to third. Well, Springville appealed the run at third, and they called him out. And then they appealed the runner at second and called him out there too. And I kind of came unglued and said, wait a second, if you're watching, there's going to be a little blooper that's going to fall in front of the center fielder. Crew Erickson's going to try to throw out the runner at home, not in time, and the runner will advance to second base on the throw. So a 2-out, 2 RBI single there from AC. And Spanish Fork has put 6 on the board here in the first inning. So to finish my thought there, so they called a triple play on us, and I went out and was arguing that there's no way you could have been watching all 3 bases. Like, it's just impossible for you to be watching a catch, a guy on third, and a guy on second base. And he took a resentment to that, threatened to throw me out of the game. We ended up still winning the ball game, but yeah, me and this umpire don't see eye to eye on, and he literally has a third eye, according to that play.
Talented young man to be able to see 3 different places at once.
Drag bunt now with 2 outs. Casey's going to bounce off the mound, gets the runner at first. Good play there from Casey Anderson. Duvall disagrees, and he's going to have some words, as is the first base coach Blair. But Wasatch does get out of the inning, but not before Spanish Fork puts a 6 spot up.
You're not going to – you said Blair like our listeners will know who that is.
Yeah,
you got another story there, Ty, and we're probably not going to get to that on the radio.
Oh, Wasatch gives up 6 runs on, I believe, only 2 hits. Is that right? 6 runs on 2 hits?
Yeah, 6, 2 hits.
1 error, and then no 1 runner is left on base. Wasatch in a hole, down 6-0 here on 94.5 The Peak.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasp football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Second inning action brought to you by Wasatch Back Flooring. From the words of their customers, from start to finish, the entire transaction was honest, professional, and meticulous. Highly recommend Wasatch Back Flooring and Paint. Bolender's going to swing at the 1-1. It's a good barrel, but right at the center fielder, who comes up and makes the grab. 4 batters, 4 outs here in the ballgame for the Wasps. It'll bring up the number 5 hitter, Casey Anderson, will come up to the plate. This is his first at-bat of the year. Was originally going to be Cole Zimmerman, but Zimmerman struggles to find the zone, gets pulled early on in the first. And KCA gets his first at-bat of the year. Takes ball 1 on the inside. Jack Bluth up on deck for the Wasps. Casey wearing the number 28. Senior for the Wasps. Swing and a miss, moves down to 1-1.
Yeah, Ty, you're right, though. This Spanish Fork team's fired up. I don't think they like what they've seen from Wasatch so far in this one. And I think if you're Wasatch, you need to take this as a compliment. Wasatch pushed them right to the brink in Game 1. Game 2, they really hammered them. 10 hits compared to Spanish Fork's 5, ended up getting the extra inning win. And I think Spanish is responding. They're not happy with what they saw from Wasatch, and they're coming out with a little extra energy here.
Low strike call, moves down to 1-2, and then Casey swings and fouls off the 1-2 pitch. It was a fastball up in the zone, got a piece of it. We'll reset at 1-2. Curveball swung over. Strike three, third strikeout of the game for Dart. Wasatch now has 5 straight retired. Brings up Jack Bluth with 2 outs here in the top of the second. 377 batting average on the year, 7 extra base hits. Had a single yesterday through the 3-4 hole. Had 2 hits yesterday, actually, an infield single and then a hit through the 3-4 hole.
You know, after now seeing this pitching staff at Spanish Fork in this series, Tyler, including Dart today, nothing about them is overpowering and overwhelming, but everything about them is solid and fundamental. Just really good up and down throughout the pitching staff.
Barrel ground ball to the second baseman, fielded clean, throws over to first base, and Wasatch is retired. Once again, 1-2-3. No runs on no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Wasatch down 6-0 going into the bottom of the second.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process, and it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring. And if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Bottom of the second inning at Spanish Fork High School, where Wasatch trails 6-0 to the Spanish Fork Dons in the baseball regular season finale. Second inning brought to you by Physical at the Fifth Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic serving you from head to toe, including vertigo and sports injuries, serving Heber Valley for the last 40 years.
Curveball too far inside for ball 1 as we start at the bottom of the second. It'll be the number 2 hitter, Dart, playing shortstop today. Walked in his first at bat, 2 for 6 in the series. Sophomore shortstop, ASU commit. He's going to swing at the 1-0, and this ball is roped to left field. Wasatch isn't going to be able to get to it. He's going to round first, head for second, and he'll be in there for a stand-up double. Second double of the game for the Dons, and this one comes to lead off the inning. Brings up the number 3 hitter, Romero. Walked in his first at bat as well, hitting over 400 on the year. Only 1 for 6 in the series. Wasatch has been able to keep him at bay. He had a towering home run last year against Wasatch, hitting from the left-hand side. Wasatch started Zimmerman on the mound, walked 3 straight guys, and they brought Casey Anderson in, who walked his first batter. And then ultimately Spanish scored 6 runs in the inning. Curveball in there for strike 1.
Well, that was a change of speed there, Tyler.
Yeah.
That was the slowest curveball I've seen Casey throw all year, and effectively slow. But I wouldn't throw that again. Not here in this spot anyway to Romero. Slow enough, and I say that because it's slow enough that a hitter will recognize that now out of the hand and be able to sit on it and punish it. He did try to come back with it.
He did try to come back with it, but it's too far outside. Moves down to 1-1. Your outfield today for the Wasps, Tragan Shaw, Crew Erickson, and Peyton Swap. Swap playing left, Erickson in center, and Tragan Shaw in right. Your defensive lineup brought to you by Point S Tires today in the ball game. The 1-1 here to Romero. 2 looks at Dart, delivers. It's a fastball, swung on, fouled off, moves down to 1-2. Your infield today, Chet Wilson at third, Carter Bucad at short, Jack Bluth playing second base, and Jackson Sorensen playing first base. Kelton Stocking behind the dish.
It's a good job from Casey to change the speeds there, Tyler. He goes with the 2 slow ones, and that's what the hitter now is expecting. His timing's off, and that fastball, although it's only in the high 70s, it jumped on him, and he had a hard time getting around to it.
The 1-2 goes with the slider. Romero gets the barrel out, though, and he's going to single over the second baseman's head. That's going to bring in Dart for yet another run. That's now 7 runs in the ballgame. Ball gets by Sorensen. Romero's going to try to get second base, and they call him safe.
That's bad technique from the umpire.
He was trying to decide as he was going to make that call. Ultimately calls him safe. I think that's the right call, as the throw from Shaw got away from Sorensen and then was able to advance on the throw. So once again, Wasatch with Spanish Fork with a runner on second base with nobody out. For Dalton,
And why I say that's bad technique, Tyler, is sometimes umpires in the field, when they get ready to punch someone out, they get this little hop skip, and then they throw their body weight into it as they kind of throw the fist out and punch him out. And that umpire did that. He actually took 2 hops and then convinced himself that it was safe while he was hopping, and then shot his arms out as he was into his punch-out motion. So I agree with you. I think he probably was safe in there underneath the slide. But the umpire had everyone kind of thinking, oh, he's about to punch him out. This one's getting away quick, though, Tyler.
Yeah.
7-0. Still no outs. Bottom of the second inning.
With the D1 commit on the mound for the Spanish Fork Dons. Casey's going to come set with, again, runner on second, nobody out. 1 look, make it 2. Delivers. First pitch, the at-bats. Fastball, too far up. Moves the count to a 1-0. Softball team yesterday, Ty, struggled against Spanish Fork. Spanish Fork softball also ranked number 1 in the state. Got beat up a little bit, got 10 run to 11-1. That loss drops the girls to 17-8. They do have one more game against Riverton on Tuesday before the final RPI standings come out. Probably you'll see them in the top 5. This curveball way outside. Kelsey does a great job of sliding and making a backhanded stop. Moves the count to 2-0. Probably going to be in the top 5. Spanish Fork probably clinches the number 1 spot. 2-0 the count. Curveball too low. Moves the count to 3-0. Soccer team wrapped up region play with a 2-1 victory over Springville. Now 12-3. They have a game against Hillcrest on Tuesday to wrap up their regular season. Ball 4, second walk of the game for Casey Anderson's going to put runners on first and second. Aiden Rouser and Diego Magana had both goals in the game for the Wasps. Talking to Coach Henry last night, Ty, after the game, he feels they're probably going to end up at either 2 or 3 in the RPI standings. And I asked him, I said, who do you figure is going to be number 1? And he says, probably Provo. And I said, do you want to see Provo in the semis, or would you rather see him in the finals? And he said, oh, definitely the finals. We want to see Provo in the finals. We wouldn't want to face them in the semis. Low fastball is called a strike here to the pitcher, Dart, older brother. Popped up to the third baseman in his first at bat. He's got runners on first and second, nobody out here in the top of the second. This one swung on, it's going to be fouled off, moves the count to 0-2.
Well, Wasatch is going to need to really get the bats going quickly here, Tyler, to find their way back in this one. Need to minimize this pretty powerful offensive team from Spanish Fork.
1-2 now the count after a high fastball.
Trailing again. If you're just joining us how the game started, Wasatch walked the first 4 hitters of Spanish Fork. And Spanish got a couple hits. Wasatch also committed an error. In total, Spanish got 6 runs in the first inning. Now they've got 1 here in the second. Nobody out. Runner on second, still threatening.
Curveball is going to be swung on by Dart. It's going to drive Crew Erickson back. Crew is going to try to throw the guy out at third as there was a tag at third. Throw. Not in time. Runner in there at third base. So the runner advances from second to third on the fly ball to center field. So runners on first and third now with 1 out for Spanish Fork. Another good throw there from Crew. Good base runner there. Is able to beat out the throw. Brings up center fielder Carrere. Reached on an error by the shortstop that did bring in 2 runs in his last at bat. Hitting from the right-hand side. Spanish Fork wearing all-white pin uniforms, best style with the cutoff sleeves. And this one's going to be curveball that goes right at Carrere. That's the second hit by pitch that he's had in the series, and that will load the bases for the third baseman, Bringhurst. Bringhurst doubled down the left field line in his first at bat. Wasatch has had 6 base at bats so far in the game. 1-2-3, 1-2-3. Spanish Fork has already hit through their lineup almost twice. Curveball gets the inside corner.
There's a good pitch there from Casey. That was a good sharp bite on that curveball. Kind of came out of the hand looking like a fastball. Took a hard bite at the end.
1 strike, no balls. Casey, slow wind up, delivers. Slider, got him in there for a strike on the outside corner. So moving outside, inside, now has the count at 0-2.
It's a great count to set up a ground ball here, Tyler. If Casey wants to try to work, he went way outside. Can kind of saw down on the middle on the inside if he wants to go there.
Decides to go up in the zone. This one swung on, does get a piece. Kelson Stocking going over to the backstop, and that ball will escape and will reset at 0-2.
And so now he's been high and out, down and out on the last 2 pitches, so the hitter might have a tendency to kind of start looking to lean over on that outer pitch. So if Casey wants to, if he's kind of looking an outside pitch, you can go about 6 inches, maybe even a foot outside and have a breaking pitch break away or come back inside.
Decides to go up in the zone again, almost to the same spot. Jackson Sorensen going over against the fence. This one getting a little bit further down, but it goes foul once again, and we'll reset at 0-2. Bases loaded, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Spanish Fork got 6 in the first. So far 1 here in the second, and it's a 7-0 lead for the Dons.
I was having a conversation today, Tyler, with another teacher at the school who talked about going and watching. There's a deep fly ball to left. I'll finish this thought in a moment.
Yeah, 0-2. Peyton Swap's going to settle underneath it. Runner's going to try to score. Swap's going to go to third base instead. They keep the runner at second, but the sac fly does bring in another run, and that will move the score to 8-0.
But he was talking about how he got to go watch Bo Jackson play in St. Louis back when Bo Jackson was in there, and he talked about some other great ones that that he was able to watch back several years back now. And it got me thinking, if you could go back and watch any baseball players from the past, who would be at the top of the list? Who would be some guys that you would want to see? I would have to have Bo Jackson up there at the top of the list for me.
Yeah, Bo would be a lot of fun to go watch. Let me think about that. I'll tell you a guy that I mean, this isn't going way back, Ty, but the guy that got me to fall in love with the game of baseball was Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah,
he was kind of my childhood idol. I've tried to copy your swing right from Ken Griffey, and I just loved the way he played, and so he would be one that I'd love to go with. And then my number 2, and actually the one that came to mind, is Ichiro. I was fascinated.
You should be a Mariners fan. That is what it sounds like.
I know. That's what I was thinking. But I was fascinated when he came up into the league and his style of play, which is a lot different than the norm, and loved watching him play as well.
Well, there's so many good potential options, right? Maybe watching DiMaggio and that 57-game hit streak, being there to witness something like that.
Yeah.
Of course, watching the Babe.
Jackie Robinson.
Right. Would be number 1
awesome.
for me. Watching Jackie Robinson play, that would probably be at the very top of my list. And, there's some good ones, that you could go watch over the years. And even some recent ones that you feel like maybe you didn't appreciate as much. Like, wouldn't it be great to see Derek Jeter one more time in his prime?
Yeah.
And there's some players that would be good to see.
Good one here from Coach Kelly, Tycoon Kelly. Ozzie Smith would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The Wizard, right? Out at shortstop would have been fun.
And you got to see the backflip when he goes out there to start the
Yeah.
game. That was his patented move. That would be great.
2-2 here to Cloward, the number 8 hitter. Grounded out of the shortstop in his last at bat. The Deuce's pitch is a curveball too far outside, and that brings the count to full. Runners will go.
There would be some pitchers, of course, that you'd love to see. How great would it be to go watch Nolan Ryan, or even
again, I go to another Mariner, Randy Johnson.
That's right. He's a Diamondback, Tyler.
That's true.
That's true. You're dating yourself. He's more of a Diamondback.
It's
than a Mariner.
crazy that you talk about I think you could compare. Although I think these guys are maybe a little bit more likable than the ones I'm going to mention. But Oklahoma City had Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, right, all at the same time, and then they weren't able to win a title. You look at those Mariner teams. Edgar Martinez, I think,
Griffey.
just got in the Hall of Fame. Griffey, A-Rod,
Johnson,
Randy Johnson, and they as well had a hard time reaching too far into the playoffs. Bases loaded on another walk. It's going to bring up Asay, and Asay's going to elevate one to left center field. Crew Erickson will come and make the grab as Wasatch is able to get out of the inning. But after 2 innings, Ty, the Wasatch pitchers have faced 18 guys. They've gone through the lineup twice now in just 2 innings.
56 pitches already, 6 base on balls, 1 hit by pitch. Those are not numbers that you want to hear over a whole game, Tyler, much less in 2 innings worth of work. Yeah, so this Wasatch team has some work ahead of them.
Wasatch down 8-0 here on 94.5 The Peak.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
KTMP, Heber City, and live sports coverage with Ty and Ty.
Welcome back. Third inning action brought to you by Wasatch Napa Auto Parts, your local Napa auto stocks. Auto parts, tools, and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today. Kelson Stocking will take strike one. He'll lead off here in the bottom of the third. Wasatch still without a base runner. Now another strike. Moves the count to 0-2. Coach Schulteis letting us know this would be cool. He got to see Hank Aaron go 3 for 3 against the Cards back in St. Louis. Kelson Stocking's going to take a pitch high and inside. There goes the perfect game. That's the first base runner of the ballgame for the Wasps. Well, comes on a hit by pitch.
And the umpire got the worst of it, Ty. That ricocheted off of Kelson, but just glazed him and came back and got the umpire right in the face mask. He's got the mask off right now and the head tilted. And
we going to have a?
Trying to
walk. Going to go down?
Well, you were going to bring me up, wasn't you? I've got a great famous video of myself getting knocked out face first during a baseball game when I was a catcher. Ty, Hank Aaron, I think, would have to be at the top of that definitely. List. Coach Scholl talking about that there. And so both Coach Scholl and Coach Kelly, those are good options that they're bringing up, Tyler, on potential players that you can watch. But, man, there's been some good ones over the year.
Not sure who the speed-up runner is, Ty. I think I'm trying to look out there. This is a new face, number 18, getting a speed-up opportunity. He's going to bring up Carter Bucad, the hero from yesterday's game. Had all 3 RBIs in the game, including two RBI single down the right field line. And then had the game-winning ground ball to the pitcher. That's what I'll call it, the game-winning ground ball to the pitcher. Coach Coburn chiming in, Ty. Ricky Henderson.
I actually thought Ricky Henderson. There's
another good barrel there from Carter Bucad as he's going to take a swing, and that'll go over the shortstop's head for another single. Carter Bucad having himself a series. Another good barrel from Carter, and Wasatch is in business. Have runners on first and second for Jackson Sorensen.
Yeah, I like to see that, Tyler. If you come back to just kind of the coach's mentality, sometimes when games get away like this, you look, who are your dogs that are going to step up? You know, it's easy at 8-0 to get in there and have a selfish swing and try to hit something hard and out of the ballpark. But who's going to do it the right way at any given point in the game? And you're seeing both Kelson Stocking and Carter Bucad here doing it the right way. Kelson not moving out of a pitch at 2-0. Instead, taking one and getting a base runner. Now Carter, a good disciplined swing. Strike one there to Sorensen.
Yeah, that one looked outside. Wasatch. So it's interesting. Yeah, Wasatch, mainly Wasatch fans behind the backstop, and then a lot of the Spanish Fork fans sit up the right field line. And the Wasatch faithful did not agree with that strike call. Sorensen's going to swing at one at his eyes. Moves the count to 0-2. Zach Burdett, Tyler, is the speed-up runner out on second base, getting his call up. So we've seen Blake Sweat, Zach Burdett, and Garrett Christensen all receiving varsity uniforms. First and second, nobody out here in the top of the third. Curveball, swing and a miss. That's strikeout number 4 for Dart. And that's going to bring up the top of the order. Crew Erickson popped up to the center fielder in his first at bat. Hitting .400 on the year, 3 for 8 now in this series. We went to a hitting clinic, or a baseball coaches clinic in Nashville a couple years ago, and Harold Reynolds was there. And I'm still not sure what Harold Reynolds was supposed to share.
He didn't really talk any
his best. It was supposed to be base running.
Stealing, yeah.
And he didn't really do much with that. But he had a great story with Ricky Henderson when I can't even remember it had to have been with the A's, right? And
might have been with the Orioles.
I thought
he said maybe he did. I would think the A's as well, but yeah.
But it was a new manager, and I can't remember the whole story, but it was something along the lines of Ricky wasn't supposed to steal, and Ricky stole anyways. Crew Erickson's going to swing at this one. He's going to elevate it to center field. Best center fielder going back, makes the grab. Burdett's going to try to tag and get to third base. Will do so easily. So it does advance the base runner on the sacked fly. Brings up first and third with 2 outs for Chet Wilson.
You know, Ty, I'm intrigued by this conversation. It has me thinking about who are some of the greats that I watched that I didn't really appreciate as much at the time. And
Yeah.
you know, thinking specifically about, like, wouldn't you love to be there with DiMaggio's 57th hit, you know, or watching Hank Aaron set the home run record, passing Ruth, you know, some of these great moments. And when I was 18 years old, I went to a game in San Francisco when Barry Bonds was on the chase to pass Hank Aaron. And we were sitting, we scalped some tickets. It's a good hard ball from Wilson.
Swing with a ground ball, and that'll be through the 3-4 hole. Chet Wilson with an RBI single. Carter's going to try to go from first to third. And they're going to call him safe. First to third, calls him safe. Bringhurst disagrees. He was running to the dugout, the third baseman for Spanish Fork. But Wasatch is on the board with an RBI single there from Chet. That's his first hit of the series, and it brings in a run. Carter Bucad shows some speed, goes from first to third. So runners now still on first and third with 2 outs for Peyton Swap.
And I'm telling you, Tyler, these at-bats matter. If you're just looking at under a microscope at this game, 8-1, this one's getting away. There's frankly, like, this would be an incredible victory if Wasatch found a way to come back and get this one. This one's not high on the opportunity here at this point. But that at-bat, and we talked about the team's shown us enough through 24 games this year that they're contenders, whether they win this one or not. So how is the team rolling in? And one of the players that they need to get the bat going is Chet Wilson. And so that hit there, it may not seem like a big deal, 8-1, but it is a big deal if you get Chet going here coming into the state tournament. Ty, to finish my thought, though, there at San Francisco, I had not put it as a ball in there. That's a tough strike call on
That's
Peyton.
a tough strike to Peyton. If you can hit that spot 3 times, they're going to get a lot of strikeouts.
That's down and out is where it looked like it was. But Barry Bonds hit a home run just about into our lap, and it was when these balls were going for $250,000. It was home run 712, and at 715 obviously would have been the one to pass Hank Aaron. But I don't think I appreciated at the time the hitter that Barry Bonds was. And I'm not sure the Hall of Fame voters appreciate either. You know, the steroids conversation is kind of taking that over. But, man, that guy was good.
Yeah, so if I were to ask you, Ty, who's the player today that, you know, 20 years ago or 20 years from now, another strike call that's inside that Romero couldn't even catch, actually. So 1-2 now the count with 2 outs.
Twice I've put in a ball in the book, Tyler, and the umpires had me have to go back and change it.
1-2 the count, 2 outs. Runners on first and third. The pitch swung on, fouled off. We already said it 1-2. So if I were to ask you, Ty, who's the player today that 20 years from now? So, you know, we're talking about guys 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Ken Griffey, you know, those guys. Who's the player 20 years from now that we're going to be talking about that's playing in the game today?
Well, I saw an interesting statistic of players. You know, Miguel Cabrera just got up to 3,000 hits, and so that's a name that I think maybe is a little underappreciated right now. Still playing. People maybe don't realize it. Albert Pujols in the lineup, right?
He comes to mind as definitely a guy that I think he was appreciated, though. Like he was great in his prime. He's
almost to 700 home runs.
I know, and I think that's kind of why he's still in the league, right? Is he wants to try to get to 700 home runs.
Hey, if you can. The machine was his nickname, right?
Yeah.
Like, you keep going until you get to 700. That is rarefied air there. Only 3 players over 700 home runs.
1-2 curveball swung on and missed. Peyton Swap's going to ask, I think if that one's going to be a strike as well. But Wasatch does score 1 run on 2 hits. No errors in the inning, and 2 are left on base. It's 8-1 as we go into the bottom of the third.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hirst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Flooring and Paints.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Welcome back to Spanish Fork High School, where Wasatch is trailing the Spanish Fork Dons 8-1 heading into the bottom of the third inning. Did get their 1 run on a Chet Wilson single at the top of the last inning here. Third inning action brought to you by Gravity Coalition, offering the best in bikes, skis, snowboards, skateboards, and more in Heber Valley. Personalized service, sales, and repair for the gear you love. Gravity Coalition in Midway, Utah, or gravitycoalition.com. This is a cool shop.
Yeah, that Gravity Coalition stat right now, the day tie is 8 runs on just 4 hits for Spanish Fork. They really haven't had to do much, as Wasatch has given them a lot of freebies. They've gotten hits when they've needed to. but 8 runs on the board on just 4 hits for the Dons as we go into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Casey Anderson still on the mound for the Wasps. Did not start the game. Cole Zimmerman started, and then Casey came in after Cole struggled to find the zone. Casey's going to start with ball 1. So Albert Pujols, I mean, that's still a guy that's been around for a long time, Ty. You bring up, this ball's going to be swung on. It's going to be ground ball to Bluth. Bluth knocks it down, throws it to Sorensen, but it's not going to be in time. As Duvall, the leadoff guy, is on, and we'll give that a single. He beat that one out, a single to the infield. He's walked, got called out on a bunt that was questionable, and now singles on a ground ball to the second baseman.
Questionable, yeah. Let's just call it how it was. It was missed. It was in Wasatch's favor.
Yeah.
He's been good, Tyler. His speed has killed Wasatch in this series, but he's put some good barrels on it. It's not been all speed, but the speed's been kind of the X factor for him.
Pickoff move. He's going to get away from Sorensen. That ball's going to go all the way down the line, and Duvall's going to go from first to third. Sorensen's going to try to throw him out, but he's not in time as Duvall shows off the wheels again. As Casey threw that one into the dirt, Sorensen wasn't able to pick it out of the dirt, and that advances the base runner from first to third. So now a guy on third, nobody out here in the bottom of the third. You know, Shohei Ohtani seems to be on a track.
That's a good one.
Even if he doesn't have a long career, Ty, just what he's done in the 2 years. Chet Wilson makes a great snag on a great line drive barrel there from Dart for the first out of the inning. Chet continues to play a good third base, but just what he's done in just 2 seasons, right? And he had another good game yesterday, Ty, where he pitched and had a couple of hits. So he's one on the mound or on the mind that you'd love to see.
Mike Trout, you've got to think Mike Trout.
Yeah,
Tyler.
Yeah.
The trajectory of his career.
Stay healthy, right? That's kind of the story of him right now. Going to bring up the number 3 hitter, Romero. He's tried to elevate one, got underneath it. It's going to be a fly ball to Crew Erickson. This is going to be deep enough that Duvall's going to be able to score on this one easy. So Spanish Fork gets a run in each inning after that sacrifice fly by Romero, moves the score to 9-1. You know, just this week, Mardona, this is going to show our soccer knowledge, right? But trying to remember the guy's name, but his jersey sold for $9 million. Is now the highest amount that's ever been paid for some sports memorabilia. And so I kind of similar conversation. Which athlete would you spend money to get? Like if you had $9 million and you were going to buy a jersey, whose jersey would you want? I'll tell you, not just baseball, but just any sport.
Oh, man. I might have to think about that. I think I'd just buy a team if I had $9 million is what I'd end up doing.
Can't buy a team for $9 million. What team are you going to buy?
Not anymore. I'd buy the Oakland A's. I could probably get the A's.
That's true. You could get the A's. You couldn't buy USC's football team right now for $9 million. You could maybe buy their quarterback.
Couldn't buy many college football teams. Are you talking about NIL deals?
Yeah,
maybe I could sign part of that team with an NIL deal.
You might be able to sign the quarterback for USC. This ball is going to be swung on. It's going to go to left center field. Crew runs a long ways, jumps and makes the grab. So Wasatch gets out of the inning. Spanish Fork adds one run on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody was on base. It's 9-1 as we go into the top of the 4th here on 94.5 The Peak.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strong disapproval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Fourth inning brought to you by Wasatch Behavior Health, a foundation that was founded in 1967 to provide quality mental health care for all individuals within Utah and Wasatch counties. Wasatch Behavior Health is a comprehensive community behavioral health center offering a wide array of programs and services for children, teens, and adults. Jackson Bolender will step into the box. He'll take strike one. He lined out to the center fielder in his first at bat, hitting over 450 on the year with 10 RBIs. Threw a gem yesterday, 7 innings, no earned runs. He's going to swing at this one. He's going to rope this one over the third baseman's head. That's a good swing there from Jackson Bolender. Rounds first base, and he'll stay at first base. Nice single to start off the top of the fourth there for Jackson Bolender. Yeah, I think the positive, Ty, and again, you never want to lose a ball game, but when you're down 9-1, a little bit looser, right? Like there's not as much pressure.
Yeah.
And these have been good barrels that Wasatch has had the last couple of innings. Carter Bucad with a nice barrel, Chet with a nice barrel, and now Jackson Bolender with a nice barrel. He's going to bring up KCA. Struck out in his first at bat. He's going to bunt. Tries to get the bunt down. Misses. Bringhurst charging hard there at third base. Bolender will retreat back to first base. Jack Bluth on deck for the Wasps. Casey in the box. He'll set to bunt again. This time he bunts it just foul down the first base side. He'll reset with 2 strikes. Tough spot for Casey. Hasn't had a hit all year. Gets a hit.
Not even
not in a bat.
Yeah, all year.
Not even a plate appearance. Gage Sheesh getting loose in the bullpen for the Wasps. Bolender takes the lead off first base. Led off the inning with a single. And a swing and a miss from Casey. Back pick over to Bubbles, not in time. As Casey has his second strikeout of the ball game. Brings up Jack Bluth, who grounded out to the second baseman in his first at bat.
Ty, I first met Casey Anderson in 8th grade when he was in a computer class that I was teaching, and we were coaching at the time, and he was a part of the Wasatch Baseball Club, and I'll never remember this conversation, or never forget, this conversation. Never remember. There you go. It's been that kind of game. Him sitting there as just a young teenage kid, very fun kid to talk to, and declaring as an 8th grader early on that he was a PO to me as a high school baseball coach. I'm a PO coach, which if you don't know baseball terminology, pitcher only. And I thought this is such a strange thing for a 13-year-old to be telling me most kids want to hit, but he always wanted to be a pitcher only, and he used to always joke about that. And he's really embraced that role this year. So him swinging in this game is a little unusual to Casey. Hasn't had an at bat all year, but because Wasatch got into a jam early on, he's now in the lineup taking some hacks. Love to see him get a hit in his next at bat in this game, though, so he can get rid of that PO title.
Bold move here from Romero. He tried to pick off Bolender at first and tried to throw it through Jack Bluth. He almost took Jack Bluth's nose off.
Yeah, right by him.
Didn't get Bolender out as it was ball 1. So 1-0 count with Bolender at first base.
Yeah, it's just bad technique by the catcher.
I mean,
he didn't try to go around Bluth at all. Again, sometimes it's funny. These kids that get these big-time commitments early on are not that much better than what you're seeing around the state. What they have, Tyler, that colleges love is the intangibles. That's the word they throw around. It's a big kid that can generate a lot of bat speed.
Good job there of knocking down that ball in the dirt. Moves the count to 2-0. Good hitters count here for Jack. Wasatch has a long ways to go. Down 8. 9-1 the score here in the top of the fourth. Gave up 6 in the first inning, 2 in the second, and 1 in the third. Wasatch got 1 back in the top of the third. Curveball swung on and fouled off to the first baseman. Moves the count to 2-1. Ty, I wanted to take a trip around the state. This is the last regular season game. We'll start to look for those RPI standings to come out. Just wanted to go through kind of where the rest of the state is at. There's 5 regions in 5A right now. Region 5 consists of the northern 5A schools. Woods Cross still currently in the lead up there with a 15-6 record. Viewmont in second with a 12-6. And Bountiful in third at 13-8 are kind of your top dogs in Region 5. 3-1 count now. 3-2. They call that a strike?
I had it at 3-1 as well.
Okay, so I think it's a 3-1 count. 3-1 count with 1 out, runner on first base. The pitch. Curveball, it's going to be swung on. It's going to be a ground ball to the first baseman. Jack Bluth is going to beat him out at first base. So an infield single there from Jack. That was very, very similar to the Jackson Bolender play that we saw yesterday. Jackson hit his a little bit harder than Jack did, but a good hustle play there from Jack Bluth. We have runners on first and second. Still a single, though, for Jack.
You know, Ty, before we dive into these state rankings too much, I've had a thought on your question about the uniform.
Oh,
you know, we kind of had to go to break before that. And to me, I have a hard time spending that much money, not $9 million, but even 100 on a uniform. Like, so to me, there would have to be something that transcends the sport a little bit, and that's kind of what I would like to. Like, a Stockton jersey would be great because I love John Stockton growing up, but that's probably not where I'd go with it. For me, a Jackie Robinson, like that uniform means a lot more than just that uniform. That's probably where I would end up going with that uniform.
What about a Cale Sanderson singlet, wrestling singlet?
I
think that would be a great buy.
I don't know if I'd go that because the singlet's just not enough material there for you. I'd probably go some wrestling shoes before I'd go singlet.
Michael Jordan,
if you're walking down the
or Cale Sanderson wrestling shoes. Wait, which would you go with if you had to choose between the two?
You'd take the greatest athlete ever,
Cale Sanderson.
Yeah,
he never lost, right?
He doesn't get enough love, and I mean that sincerely. Jordan, of course, is great, Tyler, but what Cale Sanderson did is up there with Jordan. You've got your Tom Brady's, you've got Michael Jordan, and Cale Sanderson is in that conversation. It's wrestling, though, and people just don't pay attention to wrestling.
3-0 count here to Kelson Stocking. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Score 9-1 for Spanish Fork. Misses on the inside. So Kelson Stocking reaches base in both of his at-bats. Got beamed in his first at-bat and now walks. So Wasatch with 2 singles and a walk have loaded the bases for Boo Boo. Carter Bucad had 3 RBIs yesterday, and he's got an RBI opportunity today. He already has a single in the ball game over the shortstop's head. It's going to bring a trip to the mound, brought to you by Mirror Lake Station, best donuts in Utah. Mirror Lake Station is your stop for gas, groceries, and goodies. New owners David and Kristen Wade invite you to swing by and say hello this season at Mirror Lake Station.
Is that a thing that they do in the wrestling community? Like, do they buy memorabilia like singlets? Like,
no idea.
You know, we've often joked, you know, about like coaches that need to wear the uniform and joked about the singlets, but like, if you're walking down Main Street in a singlet, you know, not sporting, like that's borderline indecent exposure, right? I mean, like, I'm not sure I would buy one of those as a spectator and put that on and walk around.
I agree with that. But to those that don't follow the wrestling, like the Air Jordans are by far the most popular shoe, right? That's been sponsored by a player, right? Cale Sanderson's wrestling shoes, like he's the Jordan of wrestling shoes, right? He has his own. He has his own Air Sanders. I don't know what they're called, but he has his own shoe, and really great what he's accomplished. Won another national title this year at Penn State. Curveball in there for strike 1 here to Carter Bucad. Bases loaded. Wasatch down 9-1, but a couple of singles and a walk has Wasatch threatening. The 0-1 pitch, too far outside, moves the count to 1-1.
Dart now going heavily to breaking pitches here. Tyler, he's been going with that breaking pitch. You talked about it. He's working back from an injury. And not sure where his stamina is at.
1-1 pitch. That's a good curveball. It's in there for a strike. Bucad kind of shaking his head like, I might have wanted that one.
3 straight breaking pitches, though. So, you know, the stats tell you a different look is coming here.
1-2 the count. Sorensen on deck for the Wasps. The 1-2. Swung on, and that should be dead ball. Goes off of Carter Bucad, and what he said at 1-2.
Good job from Carter, though. 3 straight breaking pitches on the outer half. It's easy as a hitter to have your timing off on that pitch there, but Carter wasn't. He was balanced. He was on time. Fouled off a pretty good pitch on the outer half. See if he can take advantage of a mistake.
Zach Burdett into the ball game once again to speed up for Kelson Stocking at first base. Jack Bluth with great speed at second. Jackson Bolender at third base. The 1-2. Swung on and fouled off again. Carter Bucad continued to survive. Romero, I think, he got hit on that one. I think on the inside leg. He takes a second.
Behind the dish, people have been getting beat up today.
Yeah.
Kelson Stocking's been hit by a pitch. Romero now foul tip, and the umpire took one to the face. It's treacherous back there.
Still a 1-2 count. The pitch. Outside. Ooh, they're going to ring him up on the outside corner. Bucad gives the umpire a little bit of a stare. The Wasatch faithful continues to be pretty hard on the umpire. I like that spot.
Ty, that's a good pitch. Yeah, and I've got pitching bias, but out of the pitches that I've talked about and complained about, that's not one of them. That's just a good pitch from the pitcher there. He hit his spot, and unfortunately Wasatch misses an opportunity there.
High and inside, ball 1 for Jackson Sorensen. Struck out in his first at bat. Playing first base today, the senior. Gage continues to get loose out in the bullpen for the Wasps. Crew Erickson on deck. That one in there for strike one, moves down to 1-1. Bases juiced for the Wasps, haven't been able to generate a run. Number 9 hitter currently up for the Wasps. The pitch, swung on. It's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman. He fields it clean, race for the bag, and he gets there just before Jack. That was a good hustle from Jack, but Bringhurst is able to beat him to the bag. Steps on the bag, and Spanish gets out of the inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and Wasatch leaves the bases loaded. It's 9-1 as we go into the bottom of the 4th.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.
Napa know-how.
Hi, friend. Are you ready for your next delicious meal? Come to the Dairy King, home of the train, where they're serving the yummiest food to friends and family in the valley. Come in and get a mouth-watering peach shake, peach cobbler shake, or peach raspberry shake. Dairy King, the winner of the Best Estate for 18 years. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary. Bring a picture and a memory of being at Dairy King. Proudly serving the Heber Valley for 75 years. The Dairy King, home of the train, is serving deliciousness daily. Stop in today. This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Dorius Dental offers no surprises of dental treatment with Dr. Dorius and Dr. Proctor. Let Dorius Dental make your mouth smile. Learn more at DoriusDental.com. Wasatch trails 9-1 on the Dorius Dental scoreboard. Casey Anderson still on the mound for the Wasps. Leads off the inning with a strike to the pitcher, Dart. Popped up to the third baseman and flew out to the center fielder. He's going to pop up this one down the left side, and it's going to go foul just over the fence. 0-2 count now to Dart. So we go to Region 6. So you have Woods Cross, Beaumont, and Bountiful. Region 6, Olympus is currently in first with Murray and Park City behind. Those are your top 3 teams. 0-2 pitch is off the mark. Region 7, Ty, Uinta currently in first with a 13-10 record. Cottonwood in second at 14-7. Region 8 looks pretty good to me, Ty. You talk about Region 9 and how well they've been in the past. Nice curveball here is swung on and missed by Dart. Is in the dirt. Stocking picks it up, throws it to first base. And that's the first strikeout of the game for the Wasps. Physical at the Fit Stop, your locally owned and operated physical therapy clinic, serving you from head to toe, including vertigo to sports injuries, serving the Heber Valley for over 40 years. So Region 8 right now has Lehigh at 20-4, Jordan at 18-6, Timpanogos at 16-8, and Orem at 17-7. And Timpanogos just won their series against Orem. And you got to know that Coach Kim Nelson there is going to have that team ready for the state tournament. So I think kind of a dark horse sneaky right there is Timpanogos, who seems to be playing better towards the end of the year.
And Tyler, this may be one of the rare years that there's a better region than the Region 8 or / Region 9 here. That's a pretty loaded region up and down that you talk about. Region 9 solid. Spanish is the number 1 team. I think Wasatch is knocking right there. And then they drop off a little bit. Salem's still pretty tough.
Yeah, I still
Maple
think Salem's
Mountain's
decent. Yeah.
young. Springville's threatening, but they haven't been able to get it done. And so I think I'd probably give the nod there to Region 8 this year.
So as I read through those teams, it's a 2-1 count here to Dalton. He goes with a curveball, swung on and fouled off, moves the count to 2-2. As I read through those teams, if I give you 5 picks, or maybe 4, let's say who's in the Super Regional Final, who would be 4 teams that you kind of would be like maybe the Vegas bets to choose right now in 5A?
I would take Lehigh in there, and I'd put Spanish Fork in that conversation as well. Those would be my first 2. And then after that, it gets a little murky for me, Tyler. I think I would probably throw Jordan into that conversation right now.
Curveball is going to be swung on. That kind of just floated out over the plate. It's elevated to deep left field. Peyton Swap goes back and makes the grab. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Wasatch has failed to put up a goose egg on the Dons yet in this ball game, and now they're down to 2 outs with nobody on. And it's going to bring up number 10, the third baseman, Bringhurst.
That's actually, Tyler, that's a long ways away in the dugout shielding us. Tragan Shaw in left field now, and Jackson Kelson is entered into right field.
Okay, so Peyton Swab now not in the ballgame. So Tragan Shaw making the deep catch in left field. Fastball at Bringhurst's head. He'll duck out of the way, and that's ball 1. So you got Lehigh, Spanish, Jordan.
And then I think I'm going to cheat with this answer, Tyler, but you've got a whole bunch of teams in the mix with Wasatch right at the top.
Yeah.
I think Wasatch is a team right there that could do it. I think Timpanogos has earned the respect over the years. Orem, I would certainly have up there. You know, I hate to discount Park City and what they're doing. I'm just not a believer, Tyler, and so I'm not going to put them in that mix. And I guess, you know, Cottonwood, they're coming on a little bit strong, though, but I probably would put them a tier below Wasatch is where I would be. But Olympus, I think you'd have to put Olympus into that mix. So I know I threw out a lot, but that 4th spot, you're looking at Wasatch, Timpanogos, Olympus, Orem. Those are probably the teams that I would kind of put in the next tier there. And maybe not ignore Murray. I think Murray's got some ability down there as well.
Wasatch does get the 1-2-3 inning, brought to you by Wasatch Physical Therapy. It's 9-1 after both teams go scoreless in the 4th. Leading off for the Wasps in this one will be the top of the order, Crew Erickson, Chet Wilson, and then we'll see who hits in the Peyton swap spot. We'll be back after this.
Timberline Ace Hardware is your full-line Benjamin Moore paint store. Visit them for your home projects, business-to-business, and contractor needs. And remember to ask about their delivery services. And they're looking for some cashiers. Apply today. And get your Carhartt wear, your cool outdoor clothing, and Wrangler jeans. Timberline Ace Hardware, located west of the Wasatch Wasp football stadium at 737 South Main Street, serving the Heber Valley for over 50 years.
And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Fifth inning action brought to you by Guild Mortgage. Stop on into Guild Mortgage and to Tom Stone and his team for great financial and mortgage advice. He'll find the perfect mortgage for your situation, painless and easy. Dart still on the mound for the Dons. He'll start off the inning with a fastball to Crew. Crew, a couple of pop-outs in the ballgame to center field. He'll swing at the 0-1. Dart looks like he's humped it up a little bit. That fastball looks a little bit better here in the top of the 5th. 0-2 count now to Crew.
You know, the umpire's zone is now starting to expand. Not that uncommon, Tyler, in high school games, but he's calling a little bit more of a high strike, which he was really tight on early on. And you're seeing a little bit of the tendency of the Wasatch hitters to expand their swings as the strike zone is also expanding.
Another strikeout there as Crew Erickson swings and misses at the 0-2. Chet Wilson singled and RBI'd in his last at-bat. Struck out in his first at-bat. He's 1 for 9 now in the series. Has 18 RBIs on the year.
Dart now with 8 strikeouts in this one, Tyler, and only 4 1/3 innings.
Chet will take ball 1. Nice fastball there on the outside corner. Chet nods in agreement, moves the count to 1-1. Ty, as I went through it, I had Lehigh, Spanish, and Jordan as my top 3 as well. And then I put Timpanogos. I just, with the respect that I have for
You've got
Kim
a lot
Nelson,
of respect for Kim Nelson.
And he knows how to win titles. I was listening to the radio yesterday as Chet takes a ball and talked about the Danny Ainge effect for the Utah Jazz, that he's one that knows how to win an NBA title. And to have him in the boardroom is going to be a big deal. I think these are Jazz fans trying to get some hope is what's going on. But from the high school standpoint, I do think there's something to it. You have coaches that know how to prepare their teams for state championships, and that's Coach Kim Nelson. Chet Wilson's going to earn a walk. So Wasatch with a base runner here. It's going to bring up Jackson Kelson. Jackson Kelson is going to hit for Peyton Swap in the 3 spot on the year. Jackson Kelson hitting 154. Did have a triple down in St. George to start off the season. Hasn't been in the lineup too much during region play. Has good power though, Ty. Gets a fastball low in the zone. He can definitely hit a gap here. Chet Wilson, good speed at first base. Fastball too low. Chet will retreat back to first base. Good read there on Romero, who has a good arm. Wasatch hasn't been able to run at all on Romero in the series.
So you do like Timpanogos, though, more than Orem?
Just going recency bias. They just won 2 out of 3 over Orem. I do like Orem. I think Olympus is also a team that's dangerous. Jackson Kelson's going to swing at the 1-0. It's going to be a sky-high pop-up to the center fielder. Career's going to make the grab, and that's 2 away here in the 5th. So when I ranked them, I went through and ranked them, and I kept Wasatch out of it, just at the biasy side. I agree with you. I think they're right knocking on the door. Definitely a top 8 team coming into the state tournament. You have Lehigh, Spanish, Jordan, Timpanogos, Olympus, and then I had Orem. Woods Cross's team, I don't know. Like that northern region, for whatever reason, we just don't see a lot of that region. We don't play them a lot. So I don't know how Woods Cross is.
Maybe
and then I had Park City at 8.
Dark Horse, yeah.
Salem, I think, is a dark horse team, Ty.
I'm not as sold as you are on Olympus, though. I'm not sure that team's as good as people maybe are making them out to be.
Bolender's going to swing at this one, a good barrel, but it's going to go right to the right fielder who makes the can-of-corn catch. Wasatch is retired, no runs on no hits, no errors. We'll keep it here for the Guild Mortgage 5th inning stretch. Throw it over to you, Ty, for the Gordon Law Group game recap.
Well, yeah, and I want to finish my thought before, someone can pull that up as bulletin board material with me talking about Olympus, Ty. It's because they lost so much talent last year. Their main pitchers were upperclassmen. Their best hitters were upperclassmen. They were returning a great outfielder that's committed to go to LSU. That was their leadoff player, but other than that, they just didn't have a lot. And so Olympus is kind of in the you got to prove it category to me. Which they very well could, but these other teams I feel like are probably a little bit ahead on the edge. As far as this one goes, if you're just joining us, it's 9-1 for Spanish Fork. Heading into the bottom of the 5th inning, Spanish Fork is leading the Wasps, and it's due in very large part to a really rough first inning for Wasatch. Wasatch went down 1-2-3 in the first inning as they led off the game hitting as the visitors, and then they went to the mound and walked the first 4 batters of Spanish Fork. Cole Zimmerman got the start, but didn't last long. He got pulled after 3 hitters, and then Casey Anderson came in and walked his first hitter as well. After that, bases loaded, 1 run already across. Spanish Fork flew out in that inning in the infield, didn't score a run, and then Wasatch made an error on what probably would have been a long shot double play ball, but it was a potential double play ball, a ground ball in the 5-6 hole. That allowed a couple more runs to score. Spanish Fork pushed across a few more on a couple hits in that inning. And before you knew it, it was 6-0 after the first inning of play, in large part to very little done by Spanish Fork. They had 1 line drive down the left field line and then a sawed-off broken bat single, and that was it, yet still leading 6-0. After that, Wasatch couldn't put any runs in the second. Spanish got 2 more on some good solid swings in the second inning. Third inning, Spanish got 1 more, but Wasatch did get their only run of the game on a Chet Wilson single in the third inning that scored Kelson Stocking. And then neither team has scored since that point, bringing the score 9-1 as we head into the bottom of the 5th inning.
It's going to be Cloward who will lead it off. Hasn't had a hit, but did have 2 sacrifice fly RBIs in Game 1. He also got the win on the mound in Game 1. He takes 2 balls, moves count to 2-0. Gage Sheesh looks to be ready to go. We'll see how much longer they stay with Casey. 2 runs scored in this inning will do it, though, as we are in the bottom of the 5th. The run rule is in effect. 8-9-1 up for the Dons. Curveball too far outside, moves count to 3-0.
It's just been an uncharacteristic day for Wasatch on the mound in total. Casey Anderson is just a big-time strike thrower for Wasatch, and he's now got 4 free passes, 3 walks, 1 hit by pitch, make it 5 as he walks ball 4 there to Cloward.
Yeah, 9 runs, Ty, on just 5 hits in the ball game for Spanish Fork. They've had some good barrels, but it's not like they've done this from just filling up the
well,
the ballpark.
And Ty, if we want to get critical of teams, I'm talking about Olympus and that they need to prove it. Spanish Fork is not the clear favorite after watching them here. And here's what I really like about Spanish Fork. Their pitching is just really good up and down the lineup. So anyone they face, they're going to have a chance to win. Hitting, it's not been that way. 4 hits in Game 1, 5 hits in Game 2, and now 5 hits in this one so far. And the Wasatch staff is good. But this Spanish Fork team's not overpowering in the box. And I wouldn't be surprised to see someone get them in the state tournament. But also, the pitching staff, they can shut down any team that they go against.
And that's what I was going to say, Ty, is the state tournament now in 5A is set up that you can have that one game that you let slip by you, right? And I think that's why Wasatch is in a good spot, Ty. They've consistently let one game slip by you, but they've been able to come back and get 2 wins. This is going to be the first one, if they're not able to come back, that they would have lost in the series. But what it does put a lot of pressure on your arms if you do let one slip by. But that's what's nice about the state tournament is you do have the opportunity to let one slip. Finally comes with a strike after 6 straight balls to lead off the inning. AC had a single to center field in his first at bat and then popped out to center field in his last at bat. Nobody out, runner on first.
Smith getting loose in the bullpen over there.
Sweat.
Sweat, excuse me.
2-1 pitch is a curveball. It's swung on. It's going to be elevated to center field. Right now, that curveball pitch type for Casey is just, here it is. Like, let's see how far you can hit it.
And they're not hitting it very far.
They're not. Yeah,
He's done a
they're
good
just
job with
popping it up to the outfield, and Casey's done a good job of using that pitch as an out pitch.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing Blake Sweat on the mound. I think this is a good spot. We did Jackson Bolender's first
Kelson.
year.
Yeah, is that what you're?
Well, Jackson Bolender's
Bolender
freshman year, we kind of had a game that had slipped away from us, and it's a good opportunity to get young live arms, some varsity experience before the state tournament.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, and we did the same thing last year with Jackson Kelson as well.
Right.
Even though Jackson Kelson's a senior, we don't need to get into his whole history, but he wasn't really able to get into the lineup till his junior year. He had an injury at the beginning of last season specifically, and we knew he had a live arm that we wanted to get in there. And so in a pacing game, and we had talked about it as a coaching staff before and said we need to find the moment where we can get him in to get him confidence, because as a kid we feel like needs to become a guy for Wasatch as early as the state tournament last year, and he did. He came in and performed well, and it feels like one of those types of moments here for Sweat as well, Tyler, that he come in and get his first taste.
0-2 to Duvall. Duvall's been probably the best hitter for Spanish Fork in the series. He singled in his last at bat. Gets that curveball, and how about that? Strike 3. Broadcaster's jinx as he gets a swing and a miss. That's the second physical at the Fit Stop strikeout.
He fooled him bad on that one, Tyler. He was looking for a different pitch and thought he had it and just activated that swing way too early. Casey got him to swing over that. Little cat and mouse game. I don't know if you saw that, Tyler. I want to draw a picture. So Dart here, the sophomore for Spanish Fork, he's got a lot of hype around him, ASU commit. And he's got this routine. Every time he comes into the box, he'll kick just tons of dirt out of the way. Casey Anderson was ready for him there, and as Dart came up and kicked the dirt, Casey slid down the mound, kicking dirt at him. And he's got, we called him the mouth last year with Casey Anderson. He's not afraid to mix it up with people.
No.
And you can see the swagger out there on the mound, which is a good thing for your team if you can keep it in the right box.
Sure.
And Casey's got it in the right box here.
Gets a foul ball on first pitch, so 0-1 count here to Dart. Runner goes. It's a strike 2 call, but the throw's in time. Good throw there from Kelson Stocking as he throws out. That was a pinch runner there, but a good throw from Kelson Stocking as Wasatch gets out of the inning. That's their second straight inning with no runs given up. No runs on no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. It's still 9-1 here on 94.5 The Peak.
The 50s produced some great sound. That early rock and roll triggered so much emotion for so many. Here's another sound from that era. The dental drill triggers a whole different set of emotions. The sounds, the smells, feeling out of control, whatever keeps you from the dentist at Dorius Dental, we get it. We focus on the little things. Distract yourself with your favorite episode of The Office, or crank up the 80s or 90s and let it take you back to another time. At Dorius Dental, we are sensitive to your needs. We are taking care of the little things so you can move on to more enjoyable things. Located in Gateway Plaza, Heber City.
You might be used to having someone ask you the question, what is it that you need? I think that's limiting. I'm going to take you through a 6-step process, and it's simply answering questions. And it might not just be home. It might be that you want that fancy new car. It might be that you want trips. It's your list. What is it that you really, really want?
Call Tom Stone at Guild Mortgage in Heber City.
Tom Stone, MLS 257849. Guild Mortgage Company is an equal housing lender. MLS 3274. All loans are subject to underwriter approval. Terms and conditions may apply. Subject to change without notice. This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Sixth inning action brought to you by Wasatch Bat Grill and Deli, a family-owned and operated business that has been serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for the past 7 years. Casey Anderson will lead off the top of the sixth for the Wasps. They trail 9-1 here after giving up 6 runs in the first. They've really played good since then, Ty.
I need this moment, though. I need my UCCU spark, a Casey Anderson single, a self-proclaimed PO for his whole life.
Hey, he
somehow finds himself into the batting lineup in his final high school game.
He gets a single here. That's a .333 batting average. There's a lot of guys that would
and you can put that on the plaque for the rest of your life.
That's
hey, I was a
true.
.333 hitter in high school. And I got to be careful, not his final game, but final regular season game. Wasatch obviously into the state tournament next week. I don't anticipate you'll see Casey in the lineup during the state tournament.
You know me. You get a hit here, you tell coach I'm done, right? Like you go out on a hit. He's gonna take strike 1 here. No, ball 1 outside. This is a younger brother Dart on the mound, right? I think they just made a pitching change. Yes, this is little brother Dart. So older brother Dart started the game. Little brother now on the mound, number 6. Strike 2, moves count to 1-2. Sorry, just trying to figure things out. 8 innings pitched at 1.7 ERA.
And Duvall's moved to short, and then they've got a new player in, number 14, there at second base.
Yeah, 17 strikeouts in 18 innings, in 8 innings. And he gets a strikeout there. He's going to bring up Alex Gutierrez, who is going to pinch hit for Jack Bluth. Gutierrez with a single yesterday in the ball game. In 2 at-bats, he's 1 for 3 in the series. Alex on the year, currently hitting .345. Takes a curveball in there for strike 1. Dart throwing out of the stretch. Up 0-1 here to Gutierrez, hitting on the left-hand side. Swings at this one. That's going to be a single over the third baseman's head. Nice single there for Gutierrez on the fastball. And Wasatch has a base runner here in the top of the 6th. Alex went through a string of about 10 hits without getting a hit, but he looks to be back at it with 2 singles in this series. 2 for 5 now in the series. Brings up Kelson Stocking. He's reached base both times. Had a hit by pitch in his first at-bat and a base on balls in his second.
He's had a good day, Tyler. Kelson's been good, both in the box and behind the dish.
Swings at this one. He'll foul it off into the Spanish Fork crowd.
That last, the end of the 5th inning where Kelson threw out that base run for Spanish Fork was probably his best catch and throw of the year from behind the plate. Got that ball down there very quick, really good quick release, great balance. Throw was right on the money and had the runner really by a good step and a half.
0-1 with the runner on first. Fastball too far up. Gutierrez will scamper back to the bag. Moves the count to 1-1. Wasatch had an opportunity last inning with bases loaded and weren't able to get a run in. See if they're able to generate something here. That bunt pitch is in there for strike 2. 1-2 now to count.
And again, if you're just joining us, 9-1 sounds like it's gotten away from Wasatch, and it has, Tyler. But this game, if you're looking for the positives and being optimistic, again, it turns into a really simple game. You don't walk a bunch of guys in the first inning, then that error doesn't cost you runs. You don't give up probably any runs in the first because you only had 2 hits from Spanish Fork. At most, you're giving up maybe 1 run. And you're right here in this game. And so, if Wasatch can just clean up the base on balls on the mound, they're right in the mix here against Spanish Fork.
Wasatch won game 2. Kelson Stocking's going to swing at this one. It's driven to left center field. Both fielders will go back to it. Center fielder comes up, calls off the left fielder, and makes a nice grab. Good barrel there from Kelson Stocking, but it will result in 2 away for the Wasps. Yeah, this series started with a 2-0 victory for Spanish Fork. Jackson Kelson threw a great game on the mound. Threw 5 innings. Casey Anderson threw the 6th. And then yesterday, Jackson Bolender threw 7 innings. Gave up 2, but both were unearned. And then Gage Sheesh closed that one out as Wasatch won game 2, 3-2. Ensured them of an above 500 record in the regular season. 13-11 right now. 10-4 in region play. Carter Bucad will come up. Struck out looking in his last at-bat. Singled over the shortstop's head in his first. Now has 2 hits in the series. Dart sets on the mound, delivers. This one swung on. It's a little hit-and-run action. Third baseman Bringhurst comes up, makes the play, throws it across the diamond, and gets Bucad by a couple of steps. No runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 left on base, 9-1 as we go into the bottom of the 6th.
Hi, this is Nicole with Mountain Refined Furnishings and Flooring, and if you didn't know, we've recently partnered with Mattress Warehouse of Utah to bring you the largest selection of mattresses around. The team at Mountain Refined prides themselves on making your home a place where you love to be. We offer a large selection of furnishings, flooring, window treatments, gifts, decor, and so much more. If you haven't been by lately, stop and check it out. You'll be pleasantly surprised. We're located at 480 North Main Street.
Heber City Point S is locally owned and operated by Larry Rhodes and Brad Hyatt. They offer the best brand tires at low prices with extensive knowledge and experience of repair and services with no pressure sales. Only what you need. They've been taking care of cars, trucks, and trailers for over 20 years. No appointment needed, conveniently located, free shuttle service, and free Wi-Fi. Take $5 off your next visit when you tell them 94.5 The Peak sent you over. That's Heber City Point S. And now, back to the action. Wasatch High School Sports on 94.5 The Peak.
Bottom of the 6th inning brought to you by Gucci Goo Barbecue. From the words of the Gucci Goo customers, this BBQ is super good. The nachos and sundae were amazing, and we definitely ate more than we should have. The portions are perfect for a single person, and the combination of good meat, sauces, and texture made these absolutely amazing. I definitely will come back here again. That's Gucci Goo Barbecue.
Leading off the bottom of the 6th for the Spanish Fork Dons will be the pitcher now, younger brother Dart. He'll take a curveball off the elbow, and he'll be on with a leadoff hit by pitch. Walked in his first at bat, doubled in his second, and then lined out in his third. So he's reached base for the third time today. It's going to bring up the number 3 hitter, Romero. Walked, single, and a sacrifice fly today on the series. 2-4-7. Romero hitting from the left-hand side. Casey Anderson still on the mound. Wasatch trails 9-1. Delivers. Slider outside, ball 1.
Started Romero off with a couple breaking pitches last time. Romero looked to be looking for a breaking pitch there. Casey wisely coming back with a fastball, just missed on the location.
Pickoff move, not in time, over to Dart. Letting Dart run even though he's on the mound. (9-1). Romero gets in the box. Casey sets, one look, delivers. This one's low. It's going to get away. Ball in the dirt, bounces away from Stocking, and Dart will advance to second base.
Oh, it hit him, Ty.
Oh, it got him?
Yeah, it had a hit by pitch.
Wow, I didn't see that.
I was about to kind of be
Sorry,
critical.
I apologize.
Of Dart, who even after Stocking got to that, had his head down and was just walking to second base. And I thought, well, that's not good mechanics there. Sure, he's going to be there, but it's because he saw that he was hit by pitch. So both he and Romero trot down to the next bases. It looks like we're going to get a pitching change here, Ty.
Yeah, Blake Sweat, the freshman, is going to get his first appearance on the mound for the Wasps with runners on first and second. Casey Anderson, that turned out to be a pretty good outing. He did walk more guys than he's used to, but he calmed the storms, and he'll come out of the game here in the bottom of the 6th. The winning run is on first base. Wasatch currently trails by 8, and so the run rule is in effect. And Blake Sweat will come up to the mound. We'll take a break. We'll come back with Blake Sweat's first appearance right after this.
Gucci Goo Barbecue in Heber Valley is a premier barbecue restaurant. You can choose from finger-licking ribs, poppin' andouille sausage, tasty chicken, tender brisket, delicious pork, and yummy street tacos. Friday night dates, take that significant other for the smoked prime rib that melts in your mouth. Family-friendly atmosphere where everyone is welcome, quick service for dine-in or takeout, great quality food, and great value for your money. That's Gucci Goo in Midway on Main Street.
Dan Sluga at Wasatch Flooring is extending his services to include quality paint products to complete your home remodeling needs. Locally owned and operated, Dan and his team can help you find the right flooring for your home with quality products from Mohawk, Shaw, Target, Godfrey Hurst, and many more. Since 2009, they've been exceeding their customers' needs by helping them select flooring that fits both their lifestyle and budget. They've got you covered at Wasatch Flooring and Paints.
This is live coverage of Wasatch High School sports on 94.5 The Peak.
At Spanish Fork High School, where freshman Sweat is coming on to make his first appearance ever pitching for the Wasatch baseball team. Wasatch down 9-1. Spanish Fork has a runner on first and second base here, and nobody out bottom of the 6th inning. So if that runner on first scores, that's your ball game and the 10-run rule. This 6th inning action brought to you by Mirror Lake Station. Tyler, proud supporters of Wasatch High School athletics. Stop on in where they have voted best in Utah donuts there at Mirror Lake Station. And they come highly recommended from both you and I, the donut of the month, the key lime pie donut.
First and second, nobody out. Brings up Dalton, 1 for 7 in the series. Had a couple of walks to start off the ball game. Again, if you're just joining us, freshman Blake Sweat making his first appearance on the mound for the Wasps. He's pitched JV most of the year and has had good outings for the underclassmen. He'll set in the stretch, delivers, fastball, high and inside to the Dalton, goes right after, right off the bat.
Not the most uncommon thing. When you go out there, you know, his butterflies are, of course, going, and when you get the adrenaline, sometimes you don't find the release point on that first one. See if he's able to settle himself down.
1 ball, comes back
There
inside, hits the spot on the inside, moves the count to 1-1. Like him going inside, Ty. So many guys have a hard time going inside. Makes a nice pitch there on the inside part of the plate. 1-1 the count, nobody out. Runners on first and second. Runner on second represents the 10th run. High and inside for ball 2.
Wearing number 44 out there goes Sweat.
The old Zach.
It's hard not to
Thacker.
picture Zach Thacker in
Yeah.
that number, isn't it? 44, Zach Thacker. Saw him wear that across baseball and football for many years.
2-1, goes right back inside, moves the count to 3-1.
And Dalton's not going to be comfortable in there at this point. There hasn't been a pitch that has been threatening to get him at this point.
Blake, have him in class, Tyler, and a really good student as well. One of my better freshman math students. Fastball high and in, and he'll walk. So that loads the bases, moves the winning run to second base. So bases loaded, nobody out now for older brother Dart. Popped up to third baseman, flew out to center field, and struck out. He's 0 for 9 in the series. Been rough for Zach Dart in the series.
Well, I guess the word is he's due at this point. Hopefully it's not now, because that would likely walk the game off.
Nice play here from Kelson Stocking. Gets the ball out of the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes.
You know, and again, if you're just joining us or don't remember the rules, high school, they have a mercy rule after 5 innings. If a team is up by 10 runs, the game is over. And with Spanish Fork being the home team, that means if that runner on second base scores, this one will be over.
Another ball, moves the count to 2-0. Was around the zone during the warm-ups, missing high and to the right now. Comes back and hits that exact same spot, 3-0.
And Ty, maybe not a lot of game left, so I'm going to get this out quick while I can. Spanish Fork, when we went over the stats, they've only, in their 20 wins, you would think they'd have more than this, but they've only 10-run 3 teams this year. And so this would be a little bit abnormal for Spanish Fork to go get a 10-run win right after the day when that team beat them.
Does have the 3-0 in there for strike, moves count to 3-1. Nobody out, winning run at second base. Bases are juiced. The 3-1 pitch here from Sweat. In there, swung on and missed. Good pitch there from Blake, and that's going to fill the count at 3-2. Alex Gutierrez into the game at second base for the Wasps defensively. Forgot to mention that. Bases loaded, full count, nobody out. Sweat delivers the payoff, swung on, and almost goes into the glove of Stocking. Bounces away, and will reset with count full. He's got a good tight curveball. See what he decides to go with here with the count full. Digs a little bit in that glove, Ty. Now the payoff pitch. Misses high. And that'll be ball 4. Back-to-back walks here from Sweat. Brings in the 10th run of the game. Moves the score to 10-1. So this inning, hit by pitch, walk, where the Wasps are at as a staff. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Creer. Reached on a fielder's choice error in the first inning, hit by pitch, and then popped up to the left fielder. Wasatch has to cut this one off with nobody out. The winning run is at third base. Sweat walked his first batter on 4 pitches, settled down, and was able to throw that last batter to a full count. See how he does here against Creer. Swing and a foul ball on the first strike. What are you seeing out of Blake, Tyler?
Good zip. He's got really good zip. Fastball for a freshman. Obviously, I'm going to state the obvious. He looks much more comfortable in the windup than the stretch. Came in the stretch, Tyler, having to hold runners on first and second, and he struggled to throw it around the zone. Since walking the first guy, though, he's been a little bit more in the zone as he got to his windup. Those are all things you can work on a little bit as a younger player, but he's got a lot of stuff that's just really hard to teach. A live arm, a good tight spiral, meaning he's got good mechanics on the breaking pitch. And these other things you're going to be able to work with. I think he's going to be a player for Wasatch for the next 3 years at this point that you'll see often on the mound.
1-2. After a couple foul balls, he misses high and inside once again. Moves count to 1-2. Back to the windup, the pitch, swung on and missed. So after back-to-back walks, Blake Sweat registers his first physical at the pit stop strikeout of his career. Mentioned only a freshman, and went upstairs to career and got him swinging.
And there's so much arm talent with Sweat here, Tyler, because if you want to nitpick, he's got a lot of power that he can still engage in his lower half right now, that a lot of his velocity is coming from his upper body right now. He's not engaging the lower half.
Well, this one is going to end the ball game as it was a good pitch from Sweat. It was a little bloop single that went to the Bermuda Triangle. Alex Gutierrez was playing cutoff, and so he wasn't able to get back to it. Crew Erickson ran a long ways, wasn't able to get to it. And Spanish Fork walks it off. They will win 11-1 in 6 innings. We'll take a break, and we'll have your Timberline Ace Hardware postgame show after this.
Wasatch Back Grill and Deli is a family-owned and operated business serving great food and customer service in Heber City and Midway for over 7 years. For a burger with kick, try the Firehouse. Have a hankering for some seafood? Try fish and chips. Or try the Mandarin chicken salad. Their homemade recipes, freshly grilled burgers and sandwiches are complemented with unique sauces and homemade sides. They provide the best experience and highest quality food. Stop by today and try their great menu items. As a thank you to teachers, first responders, medical personnel, and military, get 15% off meals all year round.
Hi, this is Abby Covarrubias, the Wasatch High School Student Body President. Did you know that parents are the #1 reason kids don't drink? Believe it or not, teens still listen to their parents. In fact, kids usually listen to their parents more than anyone else, including their friends. Utah kids report the #1 reason they choose not to drink is their parents' strong disapproval. All kids need a parent's help to stay drug and alcohol free. Brought to you by Wasatch Behavioral Health and the Parent Bonding Project.
Napa know-how.
Your local Napa Auto Parts, Wasatch Auto Parts at 105 North Main Street in Heber City stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and many other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Stop in today at Wasatch Auto Parts, 105 North Main Street in Heber City, a proud sponsor of Wasatch Wasps Sports.